Dr. Earl, how you doing?
Doing great. How about you, Pierre?
Fantastic, man. We're going to talk a bunch about credit. We're going to get into a lot of other stuff. But, yeah, let's just get to it, man. So, tell me about yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Dr. Earl Majed. I grew up in Spartanburg most of my life, went to Norman High School, graduated, never been to college, single right now, no children, left Spartanburg for about 20 years, just moving back, just serving other people and taking one day at a time.
All right. Well, we will definitely get into a few of them details. Yeah, I've already heard some interesting stuff I want to ask about. But before we get into that, tell me, how did you first get into credit? Tell me your forays into, okay, credit is more than just some number I keep hearing about.
Well, the reason why I got into credit because number one, my credit score was very low.
Okay.
I messed up my credit years ago. Was never educated on credit.
Okay.
And so I used to pay cash for things, but I found out that cash is queen and credit is king. Credit can get you cash, but
Gotcha.
You can't get credit unless you have good credit. I mean, you can't get cash unless you have good credit.
Okay.
So credit is everything today. Your credit is affects your car insurance. It affects whether you go to college or not. It affects your children. It affects where you live. It affects if you get a home or apartment. It affects if you sometime today if you get a job. So credit now is king. It's very, very important to have excellent credit. So that's how I got started. I was never educated, got messed up, and I found a solution to that endeavor.
Okay. Could you tell me how you messed your credit up?
Well, yes, Pierre, I messed my credit up because they kept sending me more cards, and I went shopping. I was a consumer, and they sent me another one. And I said, "What do you mean? I keep sending me these cards?" And
Gotcha.
they just make the minimum payment. And
right.
I made the minimum payment. And,
right.
And so, but after a while, interest started accruing, and it blew up where I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And Bill Clinton started calling me and things like that, and so I was ashamed, where I couldn't pay my bills or I was paying late, and then just got to the point I just cut out my credit cards and I just put it to the side and just and like I said, I had to pay cash for everything. I had bad credit. It was a shameful
I got you.
situation.
How many cards would you say you had at one time active?
Active cards, probably about 7 or 8. Yeah, and I maxed them out. I maxed them out, and because nobody in my household told me about credit.
Yeah,
I had learned in high school,
and so that's something that still fascinates me, right? Because it's like, all right, look, you've seen what I've done with card 1, 2, 3, and 4.
That's correct.
And so card 5 knows all this. And still says what? You're pre-approved?
That's right, you're pre-approved. They sent me another one, a different companies. I'm like, why would y'all do that? I'm already in the hole, but that was my way out. So, I got to the point where I was, robbing Peter to pay Paul, off credit. Then I went on cruises and vacations and on credit. And then I got kind of pay, I couldn't pay it. And so that's what got me over my head. And so.
Okay. Knowing now what you know, how many credit cards would you say, like, I mean, obviously you understand how to deal with credit now, right?
Yes, that's
so
correct.
With that being said, if you could talk to your younger self and say, listen, you're about to get into a world of trouble with all of these cards, how many cards would you say, okay, this would be good enough for you?
I would say no more than 3.
Okay.
4, 3 to 4, even if that, maybe 2 can get you by, but 3 is in the middle of the road.
Okay.
Yes, I would say 3. And you don't need all those cards. You don't need a Sears card. You don't need a Bell's card. You don't need a Dillard's card.
Okay.
You might need a Visa, MasterCard, American Express, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe a Discover, but you don't need all those cards. So one card can do everything you need to do.
Nice. Okay. What would you say is the difference between a credit card and a line of credit? Because now I've started to hear more about lines of credit. And I'm like, okay, but if you got to follow the same guidelines as having a credit card, you know, I don't know, it's just always something that just, I didn't know where to go with that.
Well, that's a good question.
Okay.
A lot of credit gives you a balance. So if you got a credit card in the mail today, and let's say they give you a $3,000 limit,
Yeah.
then that's your limit. You can't go past that $3,000.
Right.
Some cards come in $1,000 to get you started. See how your
See how you gonna
activity
do.
is. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. And you
gotcha.
won't go too far. So they want to look at your behavior. You see, and so it depends on your discipline. What credit you that makes the whole story.
Okay.
You got to be very disciplined.
Got you. Well, speaking of discipline, was there somebody that finally intervened on your behalf and said, okay, look, what was the turning point with you and your credit?
Well,
Because, you know, like you said, you got 7 cards, them things maxed out.
right.
And you like, all right, I got to get this credit thing together because, well, at some point or another, you realize that credit is king to cash is queen. But what was the turning point? Was it somebody? Was it you? Like, how did it turn around?
Great question. There was somebody, one of my business partners, that lived in Greenville. She's an older woman. She was in her 60s. She said, "Well, I got a niece that lives in Miami, and she introduced me to credit education."
Yeah.
And I said, and she said, "Dr. Earl, you need to listen to me. You need to listen about this credit." And I said, "I'm pretty knowledgeable." I said, and I was really shameful.
Yeah.
But she says, "You need to sit down and listen to her." And I did. So she gave me a nugget, and she introduced me to another guy
Okay.
out of Georgia.
All right.
And he was the credit expert.
Okay.
He showed me the insides of credit, the game of credit, through Equifax and TransUnion and Experian, and how the lenders work and how the game is played from the inside.
Got you.
And he was a master.
Okay.
His credit was bad at one time, and now his credit was excellent. It went
Wow.
up a lot higher.
Uh-huh.
And then he was able to show me his card and how his balance is and how to use credit, no matter what the balance is.
Yeah.
And so he was able to educate me. I was a student and learned from him, sat up under him, and went with him to LA, and I went to Detroit, different places with him. He just broke it down, and I got fascinated.
Yeah.
And I said,
okay.
you know what? I got to do this. I got to serve other people. I got to let people know that there is a way out. You know.
Yeah.
Again, cash cannot get you credit, but credit can get you cash.
Right.
And
right.
so once I found that out, I was able to apply the principles that I learned, and then I was able to share with other people. Now I've shared with over hundreds of people across America.
Man, that's
That's
fantastic.
what I do.
That's fantastic. And it's funny. I connect that to me cutting hair. I had somebody that at a very young age just literally said, look, I will help you. Just those few words, I will help you. And it was the tweak that changed my whole outlook
Awesome.
on teaching cutting hair. It's the same thing.
Right.
It's the same thing. You know, and I love that because you see a bunch of people. I'm gonna tell you like this. So when you came to the shop and you talked to us and you was giving us all the information, right?
Right.
I'm just, my mind is just like, okay, there's not enough black men. There's not enough black men that are doing what he's doing right now. And you remember how I was asking questions?
Yes, absolutely.
And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna see how far I can go before he's like, look, I'm not answering any more questions. You sat down with us for hours.
Right, we had a good time.
Yeah, we did.
We did
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
I remember that?
Yeah, we did. And being educated at the same time. You know,
Yes.
that a lot more of that should happen, but it don't. But yeah, you know, we have this conversation in the barbershop all the time.
All the time.
There are so many people that will not share information.
Right.
I think that's great that the guy that you met was literally like, was that your interaction with him? Just look, my credit is bad. I'm going through it.
Well. Once when I finally got to him,
Yeah.
Because the lady one of my business partners lived in Greenville, she was not educated as well. She just getting started herself.
Yeah.
But she directed me to her niece, but directed me to the gentleman in Georgia.
Okay.
Which was a guru.
Yeah.
He had bad credit. He was a survivor. He followed some principles and educated me on it, and like I said, on the inside game.
Yeah.
So I became a student, and I got so passionate about serving others, because over 43 million people in America got less than perfect credit.
Correct.
Less than perfect. And so that's a high number. That's about 95% that have bad credit. Only 5% of people in America have good credit or excellent credit.
And then on top of that, that's a big problem. And how much percentage wise would you say those people that have the great credit are willing to talk to people and willing to engage with people on this type of information?
It's less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
It's less than 1% because a lot of people don't want you to know. The banks don't want you to really know.
Right.
Because they make money off interest. The banks, when they loan money, they make off interest.
Yeah.
So they want you to sometimes to have not excellent credit. That's how they make high interest rate. They charge more interest. Mm-hmm. The higher your credit score is, the lower your interest rate.
Right.
The lower your credit score, the higher your interest rate. So they don't really want you to know. Correct.
So would you say it's a game of cat and mouse? Like if you know that this is how the banks get down, and you say, okay, if I'm good enough, I could get my credit in a way that'll work for me instead of the bank or the lender that's going to issue this credit.
That's correct. That's the best way. You
gotcha.
See, because once a person understands what's really going on in the credit game,
yeah,
and the information I teach and share with people,
right,
they'll be in a position not only to learn themselves, be a student, but they'll be able to teach their children's children, the next generation.
That's it.
To stop this injustice, because they're coming up, they're going to be dealing with credit.
That's right.
And they send credit cards to kids in college.
Man.
And they already get you early, you swipe your card. So the program is already there.
I'll tell you what, my credit was bad before I even knew it. I'm not going to bring anybody's names up. Let's just say that on my behalf, they got some credit started in my name. And I was already in the negative, and I did not know it. Because I didn't even think to ask about credit until after I got out of college.
Wow.
And it leads to a bigger discussion, because not only are there no discussions about credit in the family, a lot of particularly black families, but just running the gamut.
That's correct.
There's not a lot of talk about money. There's not a lot of talk about money in schools. So by extension, there's not a lot of talk about credit in the family, in the home, in the schools, or college. Like, I don't remember having any classes where they just broke any of that down to me. But that's some of the most important stuff we need to know.
Yeah, and that's because it's called financial literacy.
Yeah.
And they don't want you to put it in the school books. They want to teach you about Shakespeare and Christopher Columbus.
Right.
Or how to dissect a frog.
Right.
But when you got out of high school and go into the real world, that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
You got to know economics. So I tell people all the time, ask a question, what is the world's biggest economy? What country do you think is the biggest economy? And I tell people, and people say China, this country, that country. And I said, no, it's your economy. You have to build your economy.
Yeah.
And it starts right at home with financial education. So I teach financial literacy. I've been teaching for over 23 years.
Okay.
And I added the credit piece to my portfolio because I was never educated on credit. Since I got that credit piece on top of what I know, it changed my financial health, but also it'll change another person as well. It's not about me, it's about sharing this with the world so people can stop straining and robbing Peter to pay Paul.
That's right.
Because they've never been educated, especially on credit.
I see it all the time, man.
It's hurt America.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
So I have a big passion for that.
Fantastic. Tell me this. So let's say you have, we'll start with the lead off, right? You have somebody that's in the home that understands credit. Well, just tell me this on a personal level. Do you have this problem trying to tell, say, maybe a family member or a friend of yours or a colleague of yours, and you're like, okay, I literally know what it would take for you to get on the right path, and they just don't listen?
Yes, that happens all the time.
Oh, that's so
It
frustrating.
happens all the time because a lot of people, especially people that's close to you, they have a belief factor.
Yeah.
They have a trust factor also.
Yeah.
Because they believe that there's something in them you try to get over on them, but there's nothing there to get over. If your credit is bad, it's bad.
Yeah.
My credit was bad, terrible. I mean, it took me years to mess it up. It takes time to fix it too.
Yeah, it do.
So when I come to people and tell them about credit, it's like they know it's true, but again, it's shame, prideful. They don't want to really know that the credit's bad. I've seen people all across America like that. Until a person is genuine with themselves and they really want to change, and they're sick and tired of being sick and tired of situations, then they open that door and say, allow somebody to assist them. That's what happened to me.
Okay.
I was shameful, but I didn't know there was a way out. I just thought, well, I'm messed up so bad, I didn't think nobody could save me. I thought somebody threw a life preserver out.
But hang on a second. So let's say in the time that you've seen people progress as far as getting their credit together, how often have you seen them relapse, so to speak, or backslide back into bad credit, making bad decisions again?
Very little. With
Okay.
my education, I break it down to them where they can't afford not to do that.
All right.
Because some will, very, just the numbers, but very
Okay.
few, maybe 1% or 2%.
Okay.
Because I break it down where it's so clear that and the value of having extra credit once they educated. And I tell them, if you go back and don't do this, and that, and the other, that's on you.
Right.
You gotta look in the mirror. You can't blame me. You can't blame my business or whatever, because we want to do the right thing 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. And how often, percentage-wise again, how often? What would you say your retention rate is?
Oh, to keep my clients and referrals?
Yeah.
Oh, 90% maybe.
Okay.
I might lose 10, if that.
Yeah.
Oh, because again, most people, once they get their credit restored, then, again, they send me referrals all the time. But again, it depends on that individual. But I keep a lot of my customers. I build relationships.
Yeah. Well, I there you go, building relationships.
Build
And what better way than around credit? Because now people are realizing how important credit is.
Yes.
So tell me this, technology-wise, what impact do you see in the world of credit with technology?
Well, technology is everything. If you have a credit card, you can fly. You got flyer miles. It's
Right.
on certain credit cards. If you fly frequent flyer miles,
Yeah.
If you will go to get furniture, you might have a good credit card. They say maybe 1 year, same as cash.
Yeah.
No interest.
Yeah.
But you can have good credit to get that. You might need to go buy a car.
Yeah.
Or some tires.
Right.
And you don't have the cash right now, but your credit is everything. So you can use your credit and turn around and take care of that need right there. Or refrigerator tears up.
Gotcha.
So you can be an emergency fund or what have you. So it's definitely a need in different areas.
Okay. How do you feel about these credit karmas and things of that nature?
Well, Credit Karma and Credit.com, these are websites that's like a third party.
Yeah.
They market their products and services. They're not 100% accurate, okay, as far as your credit score.
Okay.
Okay, so, but they're close. They're close. They give you a monitoring system. But you want to get closer, you got to go get your FICO score.
Okay.
I'm Dr. Earl Majette. I look forward to meeting you and meeting you in person and making your life better from a financial standpoint in credit, health,